So in my last video, I showed you a bunch of the web apps that I made using ChatGPT, but in this video, I just want to quickly show you the process I go through when making web apps using ChatGPT and how you can make web apps yourself. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is create a prompt of what you want ChatGPT to actually program. So in my case, I came up with this. So what this is asking, it's asking it to create a Node.js web app that displays stats about the Monero P2 pool mining pool. Which, if you don't know, it's basically just a decentralized mining pool that you can use to mine cryptocurrency Monero. Um, I'm asking it to write it in one code block, which, when I say that, this right here is a ChatGPT code block. It's basically a way that it can show code. So I'm just asking it to write it in one of these. Um, then I'm asking it to display the miners and hash rate figures. So prior to this, I already picked an API which I wanted to use, and I settled on this. So basically, if I just refresh the page, it gets more stats. But I want it to grab this miner figure and this hash rate figure, and that's what I want it to actually display on the website. So I'm asking it to do that. I'm going to make it so it updates the information every 30 seconds, so it stays up to date. And then I'm just saying on the web page, just write a few sentences on what P2 pool is and why it's important for the decentralization of Monero. Alright, and then what I did, I just gave it the API link, which is this, and then I told it what the response to the API is. The reason I did that is so if it doesn't know what this API link is or what it contains, I can just give it that prior knowledge so it can work on coding it. So I'm just going to click enter, and it's going to make a simple Node.js web app. And I'm just going to start writing the code. So already I've made a new folder on my computer, and this is where I'm going to be hosting all the website files. And I've opened this folder in Visual Studio Code, and that's where we're going to be actually putting the code that ChatGPT generates. We're going to be putting it into VS Code. And then I've opened this folder up on terminal so we can actually start the website. So it looks like it's made a first kind of draft. So I'm just going to make a new file in this folder. I'll call it index.js. Click it, save it, and then this is the main file we're going to be in. So I'm just going to click paste, save that, go to the terminal, and type in node index.js, and I'm going to click enter. And it's just saying here, I can't find the module express, so I'm just going to go npm install, then paste in express here, and it's just going to install it. I'll give it a few seconds. Done. I'll try and run it again, and it's probably going to say, yep, it needs this library. So again, I'm just going to go to npm install, paste it in, and do that. And it's going to download it again. And I'm just going to keep on doing this until I have all the dependencies downloaded. So boom, got it. Now if I go to localhost port 3000, here it is. So it's made this website basically instantly. So it has Monero P2 pool status. It says there are currently 556 miners on P2 pool, and this is the total hash rate. And if we look at this, 556, I'm just going to assume that's right. So as you can see, we just really quickly made this website. But before we do anything else, I want to make it go a little further. Now, a few days ago, I was messing around and I got it to generate this HTML file, which if I just open it, it looks like this. Basically, I tried to get it to show stats on the Monero network, but I couldn't get it to work. But what you might want to do here, I want this to look like this. So instead of this saying Monero stats, I want it to say P2 pool, and I can show the data here. So how you can do this, I'm going to open this up in Visual Studio Code. So this is the pre-made HTML. If you already have that, I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go back to ChatGPT and say, please, can you make this Node.js website? Use look like this HTML. And then it's going to paste it in and click go. And it's going to regenerate this Node.js web app, but it's going to make it so it looks like um, this Monero stats page. So if this works properly, we've just been able to stylize this kind of bad page into hopefully this good looking page. So we'll see how well it does it. Right, so if you get an error like this, where it just stops writing mid-sentence, what I like to do, I just copy a little bit above where it is, and I just say, please keep on going from this line. And I just pasted the line. And it should just give it from the rest of this line. So yep. So what I'm just gonna do, I'm gonna copy what it's made so far, paste that into the index.js file, even though it's not fully done yet. I'm gonna delete it up to where it's gonna be recreating it. And I'm just gonna keep on making it from here. So it should be done now. Paste it in, save it. Control C to stop from Node.js from displaying it. I'm gonna redisplay it. It's gonna be on port 3000. And if I refresh this page, looks like there was an error. All right. So it says this is the error that it came up with. It says this. Oh. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna copy this. I'm gonna paste it in here. See what it says. So it says that it looks like I'm getting a type error when I'm trying to access the price, which is not what I'm trying to do. So I'm gonna refresh this page, go back here, and I'm going to be more specific with this prompt that I made up here. So what I'm going to say is to get rid of all Monero stuff and replace it with the P2Pool stuff. So I'm just saying get rid of the Monero stats and only use P2Pool stats. So I'm just going to go down here and regenerate it. And it's going to do that while still hopefully using this nice formatting. So we'll see how well it does. Alright, so this is what it outputted. It hasn't finished it quite yet, but that's fine as we can just fix it when putting it into VS Code. I'm just going to copy this, paste it into VS Code, but making sure to keep that final bit of the code that wasn't there. Alright, I guess we'll give it a try. I know this code isn't going to work because I just quickly looked over it. It's going to still be trying to get stats on Monero. Oh, no, we're going well. Alright. Guess I don't know anything. So it still says Monero stats up here, but as you can see, it is successfully saying how many miners are in P2Pool and the hash rate of P2Pool, which is very, very good. So what I'm just going to do, outside of this, I'm going to ask it to write a few sentences on what P2Pool is at, what it is, basically. And as you can see here, it's just going to write a brief description of what P2Pool actually is. And all I'm going to do, it's a bit long, but oh well. I'm just going to go into VS Code and paste in it here. So instead of talking about Monero, it's now, if I refresh the server, is going to talk about P2Pool. Boom, you can see that here. You can really change that to anything. Now what I'm going to do is just change this to P2Pool. Alright, and when I refresh the page, there we are. So it's displaying some very simple stats on the P2Pool network, such as the miners here and the hash rate of what the network is. Now, the next thing I want to do is, while this is pretty cool, I haven't tried this. I'm going to try putting an advertisement on this website. So if you were to actually have this up, it could potentially make money. And how I'm going to do that is I'm just going to ask ChatGPT if you could put an ad on the website. When I click enter, it's just going to tell me what I have to do. So I have to sign up for a Google AdSense account. I then have to paste this into the HTML of my page, it looks like. I'm gonna have to put in my add client ID, add unit ID, add format, and it should do this. I'm gonna ask it if it can make it a banner on the bottom of this website here. Can you make it a Can you make it a banner? So instead of making it a little like text bar, a little box, it's now going to try and make it a banner, which it will do here. All right, so if I put this on the code of my website, in theory, it should show an advertisement. So I might go and do that now. So unfortunately, it looks like I'm not old enough to make a Google Ads account. Oh well. But this is basically just an example to show you how you could, in theory, make simple websites like this, and you can put ads on them very, very easily with ChatGPT. So without further ado, I want to say thank you for watching this video. If you want to watch my previous video about other things I've made with this, it's on the screen. But thank you for watching. Have a good day. Goodbye.